Hi, I'm Dennis Young with Issues in Education. I'm here with Greg Moore, who is the CEO of Moore Company. Thanks for being with us. And we're at the 2019 EDspaces conference in Milwaukee. And this again is a fabulous conference. And what I first want to do is thank you for serving on the board.
Well, thank you very much.
Very much. And you're the chairman of the board.
I am the chairman this year. I've actually served the association for half of my life.
Well, good.
And so this is the pinnacle, so to speak. And my mother, ironically, served the association years ago. So I'm following her up, her son, right? So mother, son, and I wouldn't have gotten involved with it had she not pushed me as much as she did. And I'm grateful for that, as well as some of my peers who have served as chairman as well.
Well, show the camera this. This is, he wasn't going to bring this. I asked you to bring this. This is really fantastic, you know. And EDspaces has come such a long way.
Yes.
And what we're doing today is you have architects, people with technology backgrounds, furniture, educators, to talk about how all those verge together to create the kind of spaces that kids need to learn in.
So it was a dream of me and a few of my peers years ago, right? And we went, you know, this isn't enough. It's, you know, it's not big enough. It's not inclusive enough. So we made this trade show as it exists today was a dream of a few bars, and it is so neat to get it across the finish line and have what we have here today, a very dynamic, inclusive event. And the goal is to make it even bigger, more inclusive, more dynamic. Well, you know, entrepreneurs are never satisfied for what it's worth. But, you know, in the end, when you have a competitive, innovating environment, the children win, right? So, you know, and a lot of us have to keep that in mind, right? We're ultimately here for the children. So.
Yeah, and you have to be a visionary, you have to lead, and you have to get the job done.
So we're proud of where we're at. We're proud of where we're at. We still have work to do as an association, but you know, this is I'll slowly work my way off the board now, but it's been neat to see our most successful event in the history so far be this year.
Well, again, thanks for everything that you've done. And as we kind of translate and talk about what's happening in education today, classrooms aren't the classrooms of before.
It is the most exciting environment.
Yeah, and we all have been through that prior environment with lecture halls. And how was it for you? So the traditional approach to teaching did not work great for me. And so, and it was a challenging environment and a little frustrating, right? And the way we measured students' future potential really was in a strict lecture to sit by yourself, test, regurgitate, so to speak, approach. And for someone like me who had a problem sitting still and keeping the brain focused on one teacher, it was challenging and frustrating, right? So to see the environments today and to be a part of it, the motion that we bring into a classroom now for children that can't sit still, right? The approaches that we're taking and teamwork in schools that we've never had before. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic stuff, right? And that's how you engage students at a different level. Right. Because, you know, there's a critical stage when they're going from junior high to high school where that's where your emotional intelligence is developing, right? Right. Your moral intelligence, right? And so we're preparing students today to lead in the future, to be great citizens, right? Right. But it's not by a cookie cutter approach that looked like something created in the Industrial Revolution in 1920, right? That's right. So I would say this is the absolute most exciting time in education. We still have a lot of work to do. Right. Structurally, there's still challenges, as we're all aware. But it's the most exciting time ever in this industry. Well, the whole issue of relevance, when we were in school, you were always asking yourself, well, how am I going to use this later? And teacher would always say, just trust me, you will. Right. Well, you never did. No. Now students are much more, they're expecting some accountability. They're going to spend their time and effort. How is this relevant? And the whole thing of relevancy then moves into their passion.
And the earlier in life you can find your passion, the more you're going to be able to grow and contribute.
Absolutely. Just one small shift, for instance, in team building and team learning, right?
Right.
The skills that teaches, you're teaching a leader. You have someone learning from them as well. Okay, so they're helping. These are the kind of citizens that we need in our future, right? But you must hit it at a young age. And so I still get goosebumps talking about it because
I can tell.
Well, I mean, your children are your future, right?
Right.
But a large portion have been underserviced, so to speak.
Right.
And the amount of money we spend in education as it is, we need to get a lot more out of it, right?
Absolutely.
So
tell me about More Company. What are you doing in terms of the kind of furniture you're developing, how you're integrating your process of working with educators and all that?
So you heard about my frustration in traditional education.
And I figured you'd solve it by now.
So I'm an innovator. I never believe anything's good enough. I think we can improve upon everything we do. So our approach has been an active environment, a very mobile environment, flexibility, right, and in a team approach to learning. With movement throughout the classroom. If I could have stood up at a desk when I was in school, oh my gosh, it would have helped me a lot, right? It'd have helped some of that nervous moving around, and it's so special when you build unique product and you put it in a school district, and the feedback that you get from someone who might have been challenged with focus in a traditional environment, all of a sudden they're focused in school and they can't wait to get to class. Do you know what that means to you? I mean, oh my God. It makes you feel good when you go to bed at night. And yes, we're in this, we have businesses and we're in for a profit, but to be able to affect the future of your country through the children that you're serving is an honor. It really is.
Well, that's great. Well, I know there's so many people that will be watching this will want to reach out and talk to you. Like to be able to put your bio and your contact information on the website so you can share one-on-one with districts that are looking to really change their pedagogy, change their spaces, and have an understanding of who all they're benefiting from that. It benefits every child.
It benefits everyone, right? And you have to remember, these are going to be members of our community going forward, right?
That's right.
And so, again, what are we preparing our children for, right? What type of citizens? How are we helping them develop their emotional intelligence, right? I mean, that's so critical in the future citizens of this country. And so, that is our design philosophy, right? We focus on their psychological development. How do we enable that to grow in different ways? And even down to, again, what kind of future leaders are we building in this world, right? Children that help other children in school are going to become better citizens in the future, right?
Absolutely.
And it really is about helping everyone along. And what I love about the approach in education and what's changing is that, the rising tide lifts all boats. And so we're lifting a lot of children with it. And people such as myself who were frustrated in school and maybe didn't feel so smart going through the process, we've got a different approach with them to engage them differently.
Well, you understand it better than anybody. You really do.
Well, thank you.
You do.
I'm passionate about it for that reason.
Absolutely.
And so if we can just change one life, that's fantastic, but we can change a lot more, right?
Well, you've changed more than one.
And we plan to do it on a continuous basis going forward, too.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much.
Really nice talking to you.
Great talking to you.
Take care.
Thank you.